Well, hey there, I'm in the studio again, and we're talking about mentoring using the tools at PursueGOD.org. And in this video, we're going to talk about what mentors make, right? If we're making disciples, what is a disciple? And so what we want to show you, if you haven't seen this image yet, we're going to put this up on the screen. This is what we're making. We're talking about making full circle followers of Jesus. And that means people who trust Jesus, who honor God, and then who make disciples, who help other people trust Jesus and honor God. So guys, when we're talking about making this, and if you need to see more on this, check out our foundation series online. But in this video, I just want to talk about how we're actually making disciples, right? How we're actually making these kinds of people. So we're going to share some real stories so that you'll be inspired to actually do what we've been doing. So the first thing, we're trying to help people trust Jesus. Does anyone have a story of someone you've been mentoring who hadn't trusted Jesus for salvation yet, and you helped them to trust Jesus? Ryan, I think this was your first example.
Yeah, so the first guy I met with, his name's Jason. We originally were just going over marriage topic videos. He was having some issues, not issues, but just things that, guys complain about or whatnot. And so I said, why don't we watch this video? And so we started watching marriage videos, and months later he came to Christ.
Yeah.
Through that mentoring relationship.
And that's what I love, is it started, you didn't say, I want to disciple you.
Right.
He had some stuff that he wanted to talk over. You had tools that would help him talk about it, marriage tools. And 4 months later, now you're talking about faith topics.
Yeah, that's
I love
right.
it. Yeah. And so you helped him to do that first thing, to trust Jesus, and then you kind of moved into the phase of helping him to honor God in his marriage, right? And so you probably covered some more marriage and maybe some other topics with him as well.
Right. Like serving each other and sacrificial giving and those types of things,
stuff like that. Tracy, how about for you, for women? Is there anyone that you've helped in this first step?
I'm trying to think. I don't have a specific story of someone that I've actually led to faith yet. I mean, I've had those in my life, but since using the tools.
Right.
But I do have someone I've been meeting with, and I've been talking to her about, she just has a lot of questions. Like, it's very easy to talk to her about parenting things.
Right.
She's kind of lost in parenting.
Yep.
She doesn't have any faith basis to her life. So I'm kind of laying the groundwork and talk to her about how Flex Talk works, and let's choose some topics on parenting for that. And then my prayer and hope would be eventually we'll bridge to Pursue God, and then can start talking about Jesus and what that means.
So she doesn't view you as a disciple maker.
No.
No. She just views you as another woman who's helping her to think through how to be a better mom, a better wife, whatever. That's good. Let's talk about the second thing. So trusting Jesus is the first thing. And for some people, many of the people we mentor, they've already trusted Jesus for salvation. Maybe if you're thinking about discipling someone in your church, maybe you're going to talk more about the second thing. You're trying to help them to honor God in their Christian walk. So what kinds of topics are you covering? Kenzie, this is probably a major thing you cover with your students in your student group.
Yeah, so we all come from Christian homes and Christian backgrounds, so our focus is really on how we honor God. And so the one topic that we really have done multiple times, just because we loved it so much, was how to make your faith your own. So we, our parents, we've grown up going to church, but we have to make that decision for ourselves to honor God when we're at school and when not everybody else around us is.
Right.
So I think that's been really good for us, and just kind of helping us discover how to honor God in our daily lives.
Yeah. So I know that because over the years you've told us some of the topics you've covered. You also cover with these girls, dating topics and modesty topics.
Yep.
And these are topics that are so good for a young girl who wants to be a follower of Jesus. I mean, it's so much better to hear it from you, a mentor, than to hear it from their pastor at church, right?
Yeah.
Because maybe they'll actually do it, right?
Yeah. And I think it's different, the way that we've been, our childhood and the way that we're growing up is very different than how you guys experienced it. So
we're old. We get it.
Well,
the message
I didn't say that, you did. So I just experienced everything they're experiencing just a few years ago, so I can kind of give some insight on what I went through and what I did and what I wish I could have done differently to kind of help them think about it.
So does that impact the way the topics that you pick when you're starting to think about what are we going to talk about next month? Are you thinking, I know they're 13, and when I was 13, this is what I was dealing with in this one. So you go look for that topic in the library. Yeah, that's good. And then the topic just kind of gets you into the conversation.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's put that image up there one more time because I want to make sure that you see that third thing. And this is important, that if what the thing that we're making is a disciple maker, we're making someone who goes full circle, not just someone who trusts Jesus, that's awesome, or not just someone who honors God with their everyday choices and their lifestyle. But that third thing is so important. We're trying to make people who know how to make disciples. In other words, we're trying to reproduce ourselves in people so that it's not just us helping them for the next 10 or 20 years, but at some point we want to empower them and send them out to go help the next person, right? Now, this is a tough one. This is probably one of the tougher ones to do. Does anyone have any stories where that's happened for them, where they've actually made a disciple maker? You've reproduced yourself, and now that person's out there helping the next person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of one woman in particular that I just met with her for a while. We would take turns choosing topics. I modeled for her what the Flex method was like. And I said, okay, let's do this.
Yep.
And so I had a handoff with another woman at one of our campuses, and she's been mentoring her, and it's been going great. And she's actually getting ready. That woman is getting ready to mentor, so she'll be a grandparent in the mentoring world.
That's awesome.
I see that happening more and more. As people experience it, you realize that it's not very scary. It's very easy.
It's very easy.
And so it's just a kind of about helping someone, training them up, practicing together how to do it, and then helping them make a handoff if they're not sure who to mentor.
Yeah, and Ryan, actually, you're the first guy that I used the tools with. I've discipled other people in my life, but 5 years ago, you're the first guy that said, hey, I want to disciple you. And if you remember, you're already a Christian, but I said, I want to help you. I would have called you a truth to Christian, right? You'd done those first two things, but you'd never discipled anyone yet.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to mentor you for a while with the tools, with the method, show you how to do it, and then you're going to get out and do it. And what I love is how quickly you did it.
Right.
You weren't just interested in me helping you and just we're going to hang out for the rest of our lives together, but you were like, I want to be on mission. I want to be on purpose.
Well, truth be told, I didn't want anything to do with it up front. I was like, oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. What's he getting me into now? Can I just clean the parking lot at church or something else? Right. But just like she said, it's extremely easy. I think that's the thing that I like about it.
Yeah.
I went to, I was invited to a men's group a couple months ago, and it was like a Bible study, and one guy was leading it. Yeah. And he knew that Bible like the back of his hand. It was really quite impressive.
Right.
But there was probably 8 or 9 guys in it, and they all had questions. And so the guy was walking them through it and showing them where to go in the Bible. And they had workbooks and those types of things. And the thing that stood out to me, and I spoke with you about it as well, is that's not replicatable, right? Yeah. I couldn't do that. If you had asked me to do that, I don't know the Bible that well at all, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But with these videos, it's very simple. Someone walks you through a 5-minute video. Yeah. There's a couple biblical principles and or verses in there, and it's easy to discuss with a group of friends because we're all going through whatever those things are in the videos, right?
Yeah.
If it's marriage or it's being selfish or those types of things, we all understand those things. How to build friendships.
Right.
They're everyday topics that we go through every day, either on our own or with the help of others.
Yeah. And so I just want to encourage you, though, remember that the goal, if you're going to do this, if you're going to mentor someone with our tools, the goal isn't just that you invest in someone and then that's it. The goal is to reproduce yourself, to do it in a way that's reproducible, and now they can go out and do it for somebody else. And that's what we call being a full circle follower of Jesus. So that's enough for this video. And now what we encourage you to do is use those questions below to talk about it with your mentor or with your group. And then keep watching more of these videos. In fact, in the next video, we're going to kind of tie all of this together. We're going to show you an image that we hope stays with you as you think about actually doing this and going out and making disciples. So we'll see you in the next video.